Good evening, everybody. This is Christians Concerned for the U.S., and I really believe we have something to be concerned about. We know how President Joe Biden, we're seeing how he's calling everybody racist. That's not for his plan, or they're Nazis if they don't go for his plan. And we're seeing how he's actually falling apart in front of our eyes. He can't remember things. He's mixing things up, said that, Abraham Lincoln was a racist, which he freed the slaves. I mean, common sense would tell you. I hope they're not teaching this in that new weird schooling that they're teaching the kids now. But anyway, President Biden interrupts this news guy as he's trying to, he's trying to ask President Biden something. And right in the middle of it, he starts interrupting what he's trying to ask him. And it's just plumb weird to see how this is actually playing out. But President Biden's trying to act like he's got the upper hand, and we know that he don't. But anyway, this is something you guys need to look. This is kind of very unique. Here we go.
Camp.
No, I didn't say that. Look what I said. Go back and read what I said. And tell me if you think I called anyone who voted on the side of the position taken by Bull Connor that they were Bull Connor. And that is an interesting reading of English. I assume you got into journalism because you like to write.
Wow. President Biden responding to questions about his voter bill speech last week in Georgia. Here are some of those comments and his defense.
At consequential moments in history, they present a choice. Do you want to be on the side of Dr. King or George Wallace? Do you want to be on the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor? Do you want to be on the side of Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis?
Anybody who listened to the speech, I did not say that they were going to be a George Wallace or a Bull Connor.
Yes, they did. Yes, he did.
A decision in history that is going to be marked just
He's
like it was then. You either voted on the side, that didn't make you George Wallace or didn't make you Bull Connor. But if you did not vote for the Voting Rights Act back then, you were voting with those who agreed with Connor.
Real Clear Politics White House reporter Philip Wegman is the guy who asked the president about those statements during the Wednesday press conference, or at least he tried to. Philip joins us now. He got a little angry at you. Why?
Well, this is a sensitive president, and clearly he doesn't appreciate scrutiny on the speech that he gave in Georgia. So when I asked him about the Bull Connor and George Wallace comparison, he erupted before I could actually ask my question, which was, how does he expect to work with Republicans after he's laid out that binary? And frankly, the White House, they don't want to relitigate that speech at this point. And it is kind of a moot point because Republicans are walking away thinking that the president did compare them to segregationists. And frankly, it didn't work. It didn't sway Senators Joe Manchin or Kristen Sinema to vote for the voting rights bills that he has supported thus far.
Yeah, if you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar, I guess is the thing my mom might have said. He just got so testy with you and didn't even allow you to finish the question.
Yeah, and you sort of expect that whenever you're talking to any president, and clearly I don't have to tell you this. I mean, when you talk to any politician and you point back to some of their words, occasionally that can get underneath their skin. But I don't think that anyone is crying any tears for me because the president was a little bit gruff. If the president wants to get testy during press conferences, that's totally fine, so long as he has press conferences. And I was glad to have the opportunity in his just second solo press conference at the White House.
Yeah. Then there are also questions that the White House press team had to clean up about the president's statement on the legitimacy of the upcoming elections, suggesting that, if the election law that the Senate rejected, the election bill that the Senate rejected, that he wanted passed, if that wasn't passed, he said the 2022 elections might not be legitimate. And then the White House had to go into all kinds of damage control over that.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the president was asked whether or not he thought that the upcoming midterms were going to be legitimate. And certainly the White House is expecting a bit of a shellacking coming up in those midterms. But I don't think anyone thought that the president was going to say what he did, which is that he thinks that it depends on whether or not he could get those laws through the Senate. And so when I followed up with him just a short time later to ask about the legitimacy of the 2022 midterms, he told me it could easily be illegitimate. And then he started talking about former President Trump and some of the things that we saw last January. I steered the conversation back to the 2022 midterms specifically, and the president told me in no uncertain terms that he wasn't ready to say that it could be legit. The walk back did not come from the White House until the next day.
Yeah.
That's crazy, guys. It's not crooked until it's their time for them to be voted in. But when the Patriots and the Republicans, it was a fully awesome vote. Everything was legit. Everything just went just fine. But if it's our chance to get kicked out of Washington, D.C., it's all crooked. It's not going to be legit election. If the Democrats can't, if they're going to be kicked out of Washington, it's like the table turns. They turn the table anytime it comes their way, and we're seeing how that works. And if you're not for the Democratic Party, you're actually a Nazi or you're a racist. That's what we're seeing. If you're not for the Democratic Party, you're a Marxist, you're a racist, or you're part of this. You're actually a really bad person if you're not for them. And that's not bringing America together. That is actually separating America. Trying to reawake racism, trying to bring their Nazi things into our government, then calling you a Nazi, a racist, or a Marxist if you don't agree with them and their Marxist ways, and their empty shelves, and their high gas prices, and them telling you what to do with your body. But it's all right to kill your kids, but it's all right for the criminals to come and rob your store and rob you while you're on the street. Tell me, does that make any sense? Does that sound like what the Word of God tells us to live? Or does that sound demonic? They're making what is right and good evil, and what is evil is right and good in their eyes. Guys, you could look at that for yourself, and I want you guys to think about that. You need to get to the polls this year. Try to clean that Congress out. I mean, we all need to. And I want to say God bless you, and I will see you in the next program of Christians Concerned from the U.S. God bless every single one of you.
It's caught in the crossfire.